I want to talk about the latest with the Whittaker family. So, the last time we spoke on them, Adult Protective Services had just stepped in and took Timmy, Lorraine, and Ray from Betty and Larry, and they ended up taking them. And after that, Betty and Larry decided they wanted to move from the trailer that we saw featured in all those videos, and the trailer and land that they're living on, that all these people were constantly showing up at with cameras trying to record them. So they ended up picking up all their belongings. They decided to move somewhere. They're still living in the same town of Odd, West Virginia. They just changed their address, and Betty claims that one day Adult Protective Services just showed up, took Timmy, Lorraine, and Ray, and said that they were helping them and that they could no longer live with Betty. And Betty says that she misses them a lot. She's raised them. And the thing is, Larry and Betty to this day have no idea any additional details on Timmy, Lorraine, or Ray. They know just as much as we know at this point. They say they haven't been contacted whatsoever. They've been staying at home just waiting on a phone call, but they have yet to receive one. And they said that they have tried to figure out where they're at, and they said that Adult Protective Services will not reveal that information to them. And they end up getting famous from this Soft White Underbelly YouTube channel that is run by Mark Leda, and he got millions of views documenting their journey because they were an inbred family, and just that the fact that they were like a poor country family that was kind of secluded, they kept to themselves. Like, it just seemed like every time he showed up, they're just always chilling on their porch, and he documented that. And next thing you know, people started showing up to their house left and right and recording them, and Larry is trying to blame that on being the sole reason on why Adult Protective Services stepped in and took the rest of the family members. He said they told him, Larry said this, they told us don't talk to nobody, they watching. And I'm sure they didn't like them putting Timmy, Lorraine, and Ray in all these videos and monetizing off them and pretty much essentially using them as their cash cows, because I mean, all these people are severely disabled. I feel like they can't even properly consent to even be on camera. I'm sure Adult Protective Services didn't like the fact that they were being filmed by all these people, but I don't think that's the main reason why they took them away. I think Larry is conveniently leaving out the fact that they took them away, I believe, in my opinion, because BJ was brought back around after Betty admitted on camera multiple times that BJ had put hands on Timmy. I think she even said she had put hands on Lorraine and Ray at one point too, but I know for sure several times she admitted that she had put hands on Timmy right in front of her, and that she had threatened her like to give her money for drugs, and she just acted like she was causing all this chaos. Then Betty went and got a restraining order against BJ and literally put it in writing and admitted that BJ had done all this stuff. And I think once she did that and had BJ come back around, and once it was documented through video that BJ was back around these three after it was admitted that she had put hands on them, Adult Protective Services had no choice but to step in and protect them if Betty wasn't going to do that. And the crazy part is, I think BJ was like a big reason why they're taken away. Well, if you go to the New York Post and look at the pictures they took during their interview, Betty and Larry are sitting on the couch right next to BJ at their new place, and several content creators on Facebook have went over and helped out the family with like groceries and rides and stuff, and they ended up recording that BJ was over there with Betty and Larry a lot of the times that they would go over there. And one time I remember seeing someone even call BJ out in the comments because BJ was wearing a pair of shark slippers, and this lady was like, why the hell does BJ have these shark slippers on? I sent them for Timmy, not for her, and she was pissed. And the thing is, they really haven't made any changes to try to show that they're ready to get the family back. I mean, literally, they still have BJ coming around, which I think is the number one issue. And the reporters revealed that when they went to visit Betty and Larry at their new cabin, that they're still living in squalid conditions. They said they had cooking beans and sausage that were left out on a gas stove, and there's insects crawling all over the counters. Like, their insects and roaches are already so bad at their new place. They can't even hide long enough for when company comes over. And the reporters admitted that they came 2 different times. They came 1 week, and then a week later they came back again, and they said it was just as bad the second time they came over. They said they had food and roaches everywhere, and they also revealed that they had like a clothesline outside where they had some like towels hanging outside. They had a few Halloween skeletons hanging outside, and on the porch they had a bunch of trash, old tires, boxes, and a whole bunch of empty beer cans, according to the reporters. The crazy part is, Patrick, and I know a few other content creators, have gathered big groups of people. I know of at least 2 different times, and they all gathered together and they went over there and they helped Betty clean and get rid of stuff. And here the house is back to living in horrid conditions. And like, I know they're poor and all, but still, it's like, if you really want the family back, you would think you'd make more of an effort to show, like, hey, I'm capable of taking care of myself. But if you can't even take care and pick up after yourself, then how the hell are you going to pick up and take care of 3 other people? I mean, we saw how good of a job she did when they were around. I mean, she did the bare minimum. Then Patrick decided to gift them this vehicle. And at first they took it, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to get you the title tomorrow. And Larry and Betty seemed really excited, even though I'm pretty sure Betty has admitted that she doesn't even drive or really knows how to drive. So Larry drives her around in that truck, and he already has that truck. Yes, he lets BJ use it a lot, but he already has this truck, and we know he really can't afford all the expenses that come along with that truck because he's gotten caught stealing gas from Patrick several times. Well, Patrick was like, let me gift them this truck. So he ends up going and gifting them this truck or SUV that he got them. He made a video and took credit for it. Then come to find out, 2 women in a different state ended up purchasing or gifting that truck. I don't know if they purchased it specifically for the Whittakers or if they were just like gifting it because this was their old truck that they had. But they gave this vehicle to Patrick. Then Patrick turned around and gave it to Betty and Larry and surprised them with it and took full credit for it. And once these 2 ladies admitted that they're the ones who gave it to Patrick, Patrick suddenly deleted the video that he had recorded of himself giving this truck to the Whittakers. And they ended up having a neighbor return the keys to this truck to Patrick not even a week later, because one, I think this was stupid to gift them another vehicle when obviously they can't even afford gas for the truck that they have. They literally live on freaking welfare and disability. Like, how, or no, they live off SSI, I'm sorry. But how do you expect them to sit there and afford another vehicle and afford the insurance that comes along with it? There's problems from the jump once Patrick gifted this vehicle to the Whittakers because he demanded that they put their name on the vehicle and take Patrick's name off of it because he thought about it and he's like, well, if they get in a wreck or if BJ takes it to like the dope house and gets pulled over, I don't want to be held responsible because my name's on that car. So Larry's supposed to get it switched to his name, and I guess that never happened. And then I guess Larry got the insurance put in Patrick's name, and Patrick was pissed about that. Eventually, Larry just threw his hands up in the air and decided to return the car altogether and give it back to Patrick. And I think it's, 1, they couldn't afford it, and 2, I think the main reason more than anything, they felt like Patrick was probably trying to get out of paying them some of the money that he owes them for doing content with them, because I believe they had an agreement that the Whittaker family would get 1/3 of all the money that was made on social media from their likeness and videos that they were recorded in. And I know the Odd Police Department had an investigation into Eric Carroll and Patrick, trying to see how much gifts were given to Eric and Patrick for the Whittaker family that weren't given to them, and trying to see how much money they had actually earned from their social media and likeness. And I heard through the grapevine, I don't know how true this is, that Eric ended up settling with talked to a lawyer, and they ended up settling on an amount to give the Whittaker family from what he made off them, his chunk. And he always promised that he did have money set aside for them. He just wanted to make sure that the money was going to be protected and not be taken all from Betty or like spent on drugs or anything like that. But yeah, so I think they were assuming that Patrick was probably just trying to give them this vehicle as a way to say, oh yeah, this is me paying them for what I owe them, so everything's fair now. But I think they were like, okay, yeah, we can see right through this, so they decided to give the vehicle back because they'd rather have the money. But that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching.